Dunoon is like a very, very dangerous place. One of the dangerous places in Cape Town. Like every week you hear that there's a person died because of this, there's a person stabbed, there's a person killed. Every day, every Friday basically. During those days, it was just after the xenophobia attack, and one of my cousins, he was stabbed. They stabbed him to death in 2007, I think. And you have to protect yourself, so the only way to protect yourself is to be in the house. We had a house rule, as a family, like we said, 6 o'clock you have to be in the house. And we all lived together. We didn't live there and there, like 8 guys, we lived together. It was my first days working, and I was getting 80 rand a day as a gardener. And 80 rand a day was nothing. You had to save that money, and you had to pay rent, and you had to do a lot of things with that money. And you still have to send money back home in Zimbabwe. Then I switched to a security job. Then I switched again back to gardening. Then I switched again. So I was switching security, gardening, and painting and stuff. But the only one that was paying me a little bit very well was painting. So I liked that, but the thing, it was winter as well in Cape Town, so if it's raining, you don't work. It was not something that I myself basically wanted to do, but I had to do it because I had no profession, and I would say it was my fault, The thing that happened for me to start MMA, basically, from young age, I always I loved fighting, I used to bang school and go watch fighting movies and stuff like that. And the movie that made me start MMA was called Never Back Down. So I watched this movie. I was in Cape Town, then I hired a movie called Never Back Down. Then I watched this movie, then I said to myself, I can actually do this maybe. I've got a lot of cousins that are older than me, and they really love fighting. In our family, if you didn't know how to fight, then you'll be taken as the weak link. You're not part of the family. They will think that no, maybe this guy isn't. Maybe the mother did something wrong. He's not part of us. Then as I was walking on the streets one day, then I saw a poster written about Panther MMA. I called the guy, I'm like, I want to start training and stuff. So I was doing MMA and doing this security job where I worked 17 hours a day. You sleep like 3 hours, and the following morning you have to be at work again. It was really hard. And I would work 3 days straight and 1 day of training, 3 days straight, 1 day of training. And closer to the competition, I would give some of my days away to the guys. I would basically put in as much hours as I can to cover up the days where I didn't train. So even going to work, I would take a taxi, but going back home, I would literally run all the time so that I can stay fit and stuff. My career actually as an amateur I was not very good as an amateur. I was not training hard, that's simple. And I learned a lot from all my losses. I lost a lot at amateur. In 2012, I lost all my fights. Then I said to myself, well, listen here, it's either I'm in this or out of this. Then I said to myself, I have to do this with everything that I have. So end of 2012, that December break that I had from work and stuff, I worked very hard, and every day I would wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, go for a run. I joined the gym, Virgin Active as well. Literally all my money that I would earn, I would just give it away to the gym, to the rent, and to buy my training gear. Because of my amateur record, I couldn't really go straight to EFC. Of course, I was winning fights and I was beating the guys who were on top of their game, but I was not something that was valid, If I would say, like, no one really knew who I was. Like, he had to be something so special. You must be undefeated to be known, to be taken by EFC on those days, you know. So I contacted the guy called Chris Bright. He owned a show called Imagine FC. So I contacted the guy. I'm like, please, I basically heard that the guys were fighting on the main event. It was Josh Muller and Mawande Vapi. So I heard one of them was injured. So I was like, please, can you organize me? I can fight any one of them. Whoever is injured, I'm in. Then he got me a fight, actually, a different fight. His name was Sydney Mukholo. 1 week before the fight, I lost focus in training. I tried to shoot for a takedown and I dislocated my shoulder. 1 week before the fight, my first professional fight. I told my coach back then, I told him, listen here, I'm injured. And he didn't really take me seriously when I said to him that. He thought I was joking. And also I wanted money, so I didn't really make it a serious thing, you know. Then I said to him, listen, I'm injured, but I want to fight. I will still fight. Then he gave me a few shots of Voltaren, and I thought I was okay. Then I went in and fight this guy, Sydney Mukholo. I thought I was gonna just beat this guy, but what happened is 7 seconds into the fight, I tried to shoot for a takedown. I shot for a takedown. Then he sprawled and dislocated my shoulder straight away. I freaked out.
Good punch there. Wow! Those are some big shots.
I managed to take him down with one arm, basically. You know, like there's something that we call in MMA, keep yourself busy when you're on top. So the referee doesn't stand you up, because if I was going to stand with him, I didn't have one arm. I had only my right arm, so I was staying busy, pretending like I'm hitting him so hard. Then when it went to the second round, then him and his coach, they realized I was injured. And because my coach tried to put my shoulder back in, my left eye here was like shut. And he hit me so hard to an extent that I was like, I didn't want to lose the fight at all. It was my first professional fight, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna lose to this guy. I'll find a way to win, but I didn't know how. Out of nowhere, he managed to hit me so hard, then I dropped. So when I dropped on the ground, he tried to follow up to finish me. So the ref was already warning me, he's like, protect yourself, otherwise I'm gonna stop the fight. Then I managed to put on a triangle on the guy. Then when I put on the triangle, even this left arm that was dead, I'm gonna pick it up and squeeze it so hard with everything that I had. Then thank God he tapped and I won the fight.
Triangle choke for Panther fighting out in Cape Town, Themba Gorimbo.
Congratulations to Themba, but I'm really worried about that shoulder. That doctor really has to get that shoulder sorted out. I'd say let's get him out of the cage. Don't even worry about the interview.
What happened is my teammate, Francois Kabulu, back then, he was supposed to fight Henry Fadipe, a guy who was from Ireland. So Francois Kabulu got injured in training. Then I said to my coach, listen here, I'll step in and fight this guy, Henry Fadipe, anytime. Can you tell EFC that I can step in on this short notice and fight him? Because I just wanted to get into the EFC, you know, it's the big show, it's everything that you ever wanted. And said the fight wouldn't work out for some reason, and then they got me my own fight, you know, because of my craziness, and they gave me a hard fight. The guy they gave me to fight for the first time in EFC was Juan Lube. And Juan Lube was one of those guys who I saw when I was still amateur. Like, he was one of those guys who were already in the EFC, making it big in the EFC. He was on a 2-fight winning streak, beating guys up, and you know, I was just one of those kids they were going to throw at him so that he can just spit, you know.
Fighting out of the red corner, this man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 1 win and no losses. He stands 1.83 meters tall and weighs in at 76 kilograms. He's fighting out of Parklands in Cape Town, Themba, the Answer Gorimbo. And now introducing his opponent. He's fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional fight record of 4 wins and 3 losses. He stands 1.86 meters tall and weighs in at 76 kilograms. He's fighting out of Krugersdorp. Ladies and gentlemen, Jean Legacy Leba.
I took the fight. Then we fought in August 2013, me and John Lube. And I beat him in the first round. And it was a complete domination, you know, like I was this guy who was supposed to be dominated. I was this guy who was supposed to be smashed. I was this guy, I was this random kid out of nowhere, you know, who everyone thought that he was gonna get smashed, you know, and this was at EFC 22. So it was like a big fight for me because by the time I walked out, this crowd, it was overwhelming, you know, like everything was just pegged. My debut against the guy who's been there forever, who's done that, been there. And I sent a message straight away that I'm not afraid to fight anyone in this organization. You know, I'll fight anyone, they give me anyone, anytime, and I'm not stopping until I get what I want. When I fought in EFC, my first 2 amateur professional fights, I was still working as a gardener still. But part-time as a gardener so that I could just get money to cover up some stuff. And because I would fight here and there, you know, you wouldn't really get money through fighting. And I didn't have sponsors at all, you know. My cousin sister was supporting me as well. She was paying for some of my bills. I would pay for my gym, my rent, and she would pay basically maybe for my food and stuff. From EFC 22 to EFC 26, I fought a guy called Themba Gorimbo. He was a professional kickboxer. He's been there, done that. Like, he was one of the elites those days as well. We didn't really throw any punch. Basically, it was just a quick touch, and the job was done. Then that was it for 2013.
Gorimbo!
Called my boss for the complex where I was working. I called and said to her, "Listen here, I'm not coming back to work from next week." And she was very upset with me, which I understand, you know, you can't just give a short notice like that. But it was because I just decided out of nowhere that, listen here, I have to go out there and just give my everything to this MMA career. I'm already 3 wins, 0 losses. So why can't I just be something that I want? Then I messaged Cairo. I'm like, Cairo, please. Like, I used to always message Cairo, the owner of EFC. So I messaged him in December while these people were busy partying and enjoying Christmas. I think it was like day before Christmas or something like that. I said to him, listen here, can you get me on the February card? He's like, yeah, Graham is working on it. Then they gave me one of the guys who they thought he was gonna beat me as well, Charles Vasserman.
This man is a boxer holding a record of 2 wins and no losses. He stands 1.87 meters tall, weighing in at 76 kilograms.
For that fight, I was so driven, and I was motivated to fight this guy, like, because of everything that he had said. Like, I looked at my background, I looked at his background, and I realized that this guy has got everything that he wants in his life, right? And I don't have nothing. 2 weeks before my fight, I still dislocated my shoulder, and I said to myself, I'm gonna go there and fight this guy still. I didn't pull out of the fight because there was no option. Otherwise, I have a lot of debts and stuff.
Wasserman looks a bit bigger, but I don't think it'll be a problem for Gorimbo. Immediately goes for the takedown, that's Gorimbo, but he's got his neck.
In the first round, I dislocated my shoulder. Then I had to pull my shoulder back in. I hold the cage, pull my shoulder back in. Then luckily, the guy hit me. He kicked me. Then I fell on the ground, pretending like I'm hurt, so that he can come in wild, like last time on my professional debut, so that I can triangle him or something. Then, as I was falling on the ground, actually my shoulder popped back in, you know. Then I had his corner telling him, no, stay out. Don't go into his guard, you know, you get submitted. Then I'm like, okay, cool. I continued fighting, and I sank in a dust choke in the second round and submitted him. And that was me going 4-0 as a professional.